I'm sure you all know that the prop firm industry has changed a lot. We had a golden age where money was flowing through, prop firms would never ban you, the rules were flexible, and that was the golden era. And then things started to change when the MyForex fund collapse happened. Forward to now, we're at a time where prop firms are a little stricter. You have to kind of tackle them a different way to when you used to have to do it. For the early days though, it was revolutionary because everyone knew, I remember when I started, it was all just about trying to flip personal accounts of your own money. Then this whole model came in where FTMO came in, Topstep came in, and they gave an option that you can just put a bit of money in and then have access to all this capital, right? With flexible trading rules as well. And what made it really good is the low barrier to entry. It had a low barrier to entry. You didn't have to be crazy to be able to afford these accounts and to have actual good scaling and payouts. And then MyForex funds came in, and MyForex funds, I remember those days, man. That account was making me money. Even they had like a instant account type of thing that I was making payouts on. The challenge account I was making payouts on. I know loads of people that were getting paid out in crypto. It was the place to be. But then I did have a little bit alarm bells ringing, like, could this actually be sustainable? Because I knew obviously people in the space that some of you know, and we were all making payouts together, and we were thinking, right, this just seems a bit too good to be true. And I've come to learn when things are too good to be true, they usually are too good to be true, right? And in 2023, the boom happened and MyForex funds got shut down without warning. Everyone's accounts blocked, payouts blocked, everything. That was the start of a different space of the prop firms and how to tackle them. Back then, you could take time to pass the account. It would be knowledge of everyone that it's okay to take your time because these prop firms are going to pay you out, because MFF actually did pay almost everyone out, right? So it was a thing that, okay, I'm going to get paid out once I get the account. Why not just take it slow? Then MFF got hit with a US or Canadian regulation, one of those, to do with misleading practices. Basically, they kind of identified that maybe some people in the back end were increasing slippage slightly and keeping spread to kind of give themselves the odds. And that's how the industry tried to shift towards this casino model where prop firms were just trying to be a casino rather than trading with the traders. And then what happened is you had the funded trader came in. That was another one like MFF. They were giving payouts. I know so many people, so many of my friends in the space that were making good payouts for the funded trader. Even I was. I actually have still a pending payout with them, but they shut down as well for obviously bad practices and not paying people out. And I remember my payout started going from 1 week to now taking a month for a payout, and that was a red flag. So if any firms ever do that to you, that is a red flag. Now we're in the rebuild trust era where there are some firms in the Forex space that are now carving their way to be a bit more trustable, okay? Ones that survived through the funded trader stuff and actually still pay out people and have good Trustpilot reviews. For example, the sponsor of today's video, which is Goat Funded Trader, which I actually, you know what, I do really like them. They got new updates now where they've got MT5, they got instant account plans, they've got good Trustpilot reviews, they've got challenges that allow you to trade news, right? They got more flexible rules that remind me of the old days, but with a bit more of a professional approach. I can see they've obviously put a lot of money into this because they even have a built-in trading journal that's quite responsive that I quite enjoy on my 100k account that I have with them. So definitely want to check out. The link will be in the description. That is one that has sort of built its own path within the Forex side. And then you also have futures side, right? So that is also becoming, they're building up their own carve. It's kind of separated now. You've got Forex firms, futures firms. Topstep is a really big futures one that I trade with a lot, and a lot of people that I know trade with. And it's kind of going away where prop firms should ideally move away from this. It's always going to be a semi-casino model because that's how they make money. But they need to move away with seeing a trader as just a challenge, and they need to move towards models where they see traders as a partner, a contractor within your company, where they make money, you make money. And that's how sort of models are adapting nowadays, which is pretty good. But there's still a lot of ambiguity in the space. I do like crypto payments as well rather than Rise payments, because that is a whole nother problem that's happening with the payment processors being having issues and their support being bad. So usually I recommend taking crypto. Like I mentioned, Goat Funder Trader, they also do crypto as well. Top Step, they do Wise, which is good. Wise is good compared to Rise, which is different. Rise, I've had a few issues with. Yeah, so in 2025, the prop firm industry looks very different. Forex firms are still very popular. Don't get me wrong, they are making tons of revenue. You just have to select them correctly. You need to select the ones with good Trustpilot reviews, like I mentioned. I even have a video on how to sort of identify what prop firms are good or not. And then on the other side, you got Top Step, which is like a futures firms, and you got all of these Forex firms actually opening up a new section of their business to go into futures. I think this is a good thing. It just allows us to have more capital. As you know, if you get 1% on a million of funding, it's less effort to get 1%, right? But it's just on more capital. You'll make 10 grand in payouts. Whereas if you try and get 10% on 100K, it's a bit harder, of course, because you need 10% instead of 1%. So the more capital you can get, the better, because that means you can just hit good financial rewards with less effort and strain on your strategy. And that's basically the whole game, right? That's why you want to get capital and leverage it, because then it makes your life easier and you can stay consistent making good profits and supplement your job or add the money to your job. If you have a good job, then you can also trade, and then you can fund it all together and then move this to investments, as I usually talk about as well. So yeah, I haven't given up in the prop firm industry at all. It's just changed. It's changed to be, you have to tackle it a little bit different. Just focus on scaling capital as quickly as possible. Don't focus on taking ages to do the challenge. Do the challenge quick. Once you're on the live or the funded, whatever, then you can sort of take your time. Try and get as much as you can. Copy trade them. Try and hit the 1 to 2 to 3 to 4% a month. And on a certain amount of capital, that's going to be quite a lot, and it will give you an extra boost on your income, which is what you're doing this for anyways, right? You don't actually enjoy clicking a button. No one enjoys clicking a button. You enjoy the fact that clicking that button can mean that you make money and then you boost your life. That's why you enjoy it. It's not because of the button, right? So think of this logically. Think of it like a business. Any challenges you buy, think of it as a business expense. Any revenue or profits you get, just think of it as revenue. You minus them for profit, okay? And that's how we're supposed to tackle this modern era of prop firms. How do I think it's going to play out in the future? I think that prop firms are going to stay around now. I think they are just too big to go. If they go, someone else is going to open another prop firm, which is going to take the space anyway. So obviously the big dogs, they're not going to want to do that. They're not going to shut down or anything. They're just trying to slowly comply so they don't get hit with a MyForex funds regulation warning or closure, right? So that's going to happen. It's going to go to a more professional route over time. But for you, those of you that actually have a good strategy, or you actually stick to your plan, or you're just doing it for extra side income, you are in a good spot, because you're not relying on this to feed your family, right? You're just doing it for extra money to then invest, to then feed your family with that. So just get your data. Don't overcomplicate it. If you found this video interesting, then drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what topics you want me to talk about. As I said, I do believe that prop firms are going to stay around. So if you needed to hear that from me as someone that's been in the space for a few years now, then there you have it. Hopefully that gives you some confidence to just stick with it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.